and girls. Welcome back to the HOT PASS Podcast. You know what it is. It's the Friday morning betting show. If it's your first time, welcome. Also, shouts out to everybody who's listening in Italy, Finland, Brussels, Singapore, Australia, Germany, all over the place. America, wherever you're from. I'm from Canada, and I appreciate you guys listening to the HOT PASS Podcast, sharing it with your friends. We're going hard on this, all right? We've got interviews coming up with Kyle Steckley and then Ryan Williams from Junior Motorsports. So if it's your first time, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. This is the HOT PASS Podcast betting show. We succumbed to be 8+ units last week at Daytona at a super speedway. You have to follow me at my social media at @FurlongEric_ on my social media, I should say. There. At @FurlongEric_ on X, Twitter, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Mainly Instagram. If you go to my X, if you go to my Instagram, in the bio is the Action Network. That's where I laid down the Logano for the pole last second at plus 1,500 or plus 1,600, whatever it was, and cashed us a big bag. All right, that's how we started off the week. Beautiful, okay? Hope my fan's not too loud in the background as well. It's pumping. It's hot in here. I got shorts on now. It's getting warmer in Canada. If you're in Celsius, we are about probably 9-10 degrees. And I'm very excited, but it's still motherfucking hot in this room. It's only going to get worse because we still have the heat on. For some reason, we still have the heat on. I don't understand why. So we've got truck odds, Xfinity odds, always exclusive for every Friday morning betting show. Okay. And then Cup, you can find it on my Action Network. Give me a follow. Check it out. Linktree in all my bios. So I always post last second bets on Instagram and Action Network for the Cup Series. Okay. Just want you to make sure they do not track Xfinity and truck. That's why it's specifically catered to this. And then we're going down to Atlanta this week. Big news. Let's give you a little story, a little background. So we told you about the other day how it's possible I'm not going. If you listen to, came out yesterday, Wednesday. I'm filming this on Thursday. So 2 days ago, when you're listening to this, I talked about on the HOT PASS Podcast, the Daytona recap, that there's a possibility I'm not going. But there's a possibility maybe. Okay. I explained it all. Go listen to that podcast. Now, we bought our tickets. We found cheap tickets to fly from Detroit, which is about 3 hours from me, down to Detroit to Atlanta, where they're going to show up late Friday. We'll be there all day Saturday, all day Sunday. If you guys are going to be at the race, let me know. Hit me up, DM me. My buddy Clinton is going to be down there. He's got a barbecue set up, some cornhole, beer pong. It's going to be a great time. I might be sloshed by the time the race comes up. And praying to God that this time when I'm drunk, not like Dega, we cash a bag instead of having to live in utter depression after slicing my leg open at Talladega. And that'll be a future story for a future podcast. Anyways, let's dive in. Okay, we're going to Atlanta Super Speedway, Motor Speedway, but to me, Super Speedway. A lot of people, it's the same style of drafting, but instead of being over 2 miles, like Talladega, like Daytona, this is unique. It used to be just a regular mile and a half track. They tore it up, raised up the banking, and repaved it all. And now it is a 1.5 mile super speedway track. And if you ever want to go to a race, Dale Jr. and a bunch of other people have said this is the race you got to go to because it's fucking chaos. And the best part is I've seen on YouTube from the grandstands, you could see everything. The backstretch only because it is a 1.5 miles. So you could see fucking everything. So to see a super speedway and be able to see every last second of the race, very excited for that. Just remember, when we're going into this, sprinkle a little bit. Choose whether you're going to put a unit and a half, 2 units, however you feel, and sprinkle lightly across the races. For me personally, remember, trucks, I always take it very light. And right now we're wearing the Mike Skinner RCR number 3 Truck Series shirt. Well, I will be wearing that down on the track Friday. Then we will switch into some other gear after that race and get into the Xfinity vibes, right? So the doubleheader Friday, 2:00. The Truck Series is racing in Atlanta on TSN in Canada, and I'm sure FS1 down in the States. And then 5 o'clock, unless the Truck Series has absolute chaos, it's supposed to start at 5 o'clock. TSN in Canada, and I'm sure Fox, obviously, down in the States. And then we've got the Cup Series on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's all Eastern Time, by the way. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to pull up my notes here. And I'm going to have to kind of jump all over the place a little bit here. But let's start off. We got a little notes here. We got our Atlanta bets, okay? All right, we're kind of going with almost the same. Now, odds have been chopped down on some guys, so I'm not taking the exact same. Some new faces across Trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup Series. So let's start off with Trucks. We're always going to start out with some Trucks, and it's my most confident. So let's start off with my favorites to win. Christian Eckes, plus 800. I was hoping last week we had him at like about plus 900, plus 850 or whatever. And then we got a little boost to plus 950 I talked about on the Friday morning betting show. And Christian Eckes in the 19 Napa truck. He's just good at super speedways. He was out front a lot of the race and ended up was on a different strategy. I can't remember exactly what happened. And then gets caught up in some stuff. Our bets were looking really good right till the very end last week. And Christian Eckes, I think he's won here last year. Okay, just keep that in mind. I think he could do it. Remember, Kyle Busch is in the field. So he's opening up as the favorite. He opened up at plus 300, plus 325, Kyle Busch. I would recommend not taking that because of how low his odds are. Corey Haim's also been, I'm looking at DraftKings, has been dropped down to plus 650. Your next best guy. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Christian Eckes, plus 850 on DraftKings. A little bit better than what I got at Bet Rivers. So I would go take Christian Eckes. The next guy I'm talking about, I would also definitely be taking. He had probably arguably heard on a couple podcasts. I totally agree with them. Ben Rhodes had, I think personally, the best truck. He was riding out front. He's good at Atlanta as well. He's finished in the top 5 a lot since the new configuration. He's good at super speedways. I think he's going to be out front again. Unfortunately, that truck got fucked up a little bit by getting doors slammed. He cut a tire down, and they had some issues, and then he ended up having to park it. So Christian Eckes plus 850 on DraftKings, and then I got Ben Rhodes at Caesars, but he's also available at DraftKings at plus 1200. Hashtag not a sponsor. Okay, plus 1200, which is 12-1 for you newbies. Okay, at the Caesars and DraftKings is just what I'm looking at right now. Okay. Now, let's dive into this one. Now, did Rajah Caruth fuck up the end of the race? Yes. But did he help us basically catch a Spencer Boyd top 5 last week? Yeah. So, hey, Rajah, thank you. I appreciate you. So, whether he didn't win, whatever, that's fine. Now, let's just not forget to mention Nick Sanchez could very well go back-to-back. He's going to be fast. He's going to be out front. We're going to mention some top 5s and some top 3 odds in a second here to kind of help yourself out if Kyle Busch ends up going to win the race or Nick Sanchez goes back-to-back. But Nick Sanchez odds have been hammered down to 10-1. So, like, Grant Enfinger's another opportunity of a guy that could win. I just need to see. He wasn't really a factor. Ty Dillon out super early. Not a big factor. Ty Majeski, not a super speedway guy. We'll talk about him at short tracks. So I would take these guys that have always at bigger tracks, 1.5 miles, super speedways, but mainly 1.5 miles. These guys have been good at these big open tracks. And that's like Christian Eckes and Ben Rhodes. Okay. And they have solid lines for good guys. And I feel like with Ben Rhodes, definitely they're disrespecting him. So let's go over to Rajah Caruth, as I was just saying. Rajah finished, I think they ended up scoring him like a day later, 3rd. And he's in Spire Equipment. Now, Kyle Busch, I think, is going to be in Spire Equipment probably this weekend as well. He sold his stuff to Spire Motorsports, so he's going to have a little bit of help with Kyle. They've got great trucks, and really good equipment, and Hendrick is behind Rajah Caruth. So I'm going to take him again. I know you can find him at 30-1 on a couple of books about Betway, right now. Yeah, like on DraftKings, he's plus 2,800. I got him over at Caesars at plus 2,800, which is 28 to 1 for the newbies. And there's a couple of books out there that you can find 30 to 1. Just a wee sprinkle. He's going to be good at mile and a half. So like when I'm at Vegas next week, I'm taking Raja while I'm in Vegas. I think he's going to be good. I think he can get his first win. I just don't want to miss out when I'm in person. A Raja Caruth first win. He positioned himself very well throughout the race last week. I feel like he's learning a little bit more patience now. At the end of the race, you could see the win, and he just made a bad reaction. He's learning. Him and Bubba had a talk, and I feel like he can get a W very, very soon. And I'm just going to keep betting him with wee sprinkles till it hits, because I feel like he's going to get a win or two this year. He's just got so much talent, and those Spire trucks got speed. It's just unfortunately we have the first two races are back-to-back super speedways, and it's just a luck of the draw, really. So yeah, Raja Caruth 30 to 1 on some books. I got 28 to 1 on Caesar Sportsbook. Now this guy last week was out front, Brett Holmes. He's going to be out front. This is the only tracks where these shittier trucks, when they come out to mile and a halves and short tracks and road courses that you need just raw speed, he doesn't have it. The draft settles that score. And Brad Holmes was out front at Daytona, leading laps, being in the whole field, right at the front of the field, being one of the main topics, people talking about him. And at this point, we used to get 100, 150 to 1 for him to win. Then he won at Dega a couple years ago. And that's gone now. So we get 66 to 1 at Bet Rivers. Light sprinkle. I think he's going to be up front. I think he's going to be out there. I think he's going to do great. It's unfortunate he got caught up in some shit. But he's going to be battling. And I'm excited to watch that live and see Brett Holmes possibly come out with a win. He's got big dogs out there. He's got Corey Heim. He's got Kyle Busch up front. He's got Christian Eckes, Ben Rhodes. But he's proven now that he can do the job. Okay? We'll talk about him in a second for a top 5. All right? The last long shot of long shots, we're going to go back to the well. It was the last sprinkle. I did mention it on the Friday morning betting show because it was late at night. It was just before hockey. I had a second thought, and we talked about, or I didn't talk about, was Spencer Boyd. I'm sprinkling literally $5 at 250 to 1. He cashed the top 5 last week. Okay, last second. Beautiful. He seems to be, because he's just going to hang out and back. He knows he's not going to get points anywhere else, so he goes to these super speedways, and he hangs out back, and he just rides around, right? And then waits for the calamity, drives through it, and then at the end, he springs. He gets a little spring in his sprung and a sprung in his spring. It's going to be beautiful weather down there, and I want to see Spencer Boyd jump right into spring, hop in there, be like the Easter Bunny, and cash us a fucking bag at 250 to 1. I love that shit. I also like a little Timmy Hill. Timmy Hill, what sportsbook was that? Timmy Hill, I think you can find him 300 to 1 somewhere, 250 to 1. Little $5. I don't think he's going to win, but we're going to talk about him right now in the top 5 market. Now, this sucks for me. Okay? This sucks for me, but good for you if you're listening to the Friday morning betting show. Right now, if you go to DraftKings, okay? At the time of recording this, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. The top 5 market and the top 3 market has now came out for DraftKings. What did I get? Okay, here we are. So, Spencer Boyd, I got him for a top 5 on Caesars because I didn't think DraftKings has been doing a great job at getting truck odds out early, well, not early, because Caesars was out, like the truck odds for Caesars, top 5s, everything was out super early before even Cup, and then Cup about half an hour later came out. So they just came out today on the Thursday, and the top 5 market, I should have waited. I should have fucking waited, because right now, I got Timmy Hill and Spencer Boyd top 5. Timmy Hill 18 to 1, Spencer Boyd 17 to 1. But if you go to DraftKings Sportsbook, Timmy Hill is 30 to 1 for a top 5 instead of 18 to 1. And Spencer Boyd is 25 to 1 rather than 17 to 1. I'm going to take and put an extra $5 on there. A little sprinkle. Because if it hits, we fucking make bags because I've already got the other one. It's just too good of a line to break up. So now I'm going to talk about this real quick. Wait until, if DraftKings, I understand if you miss out on Caesars, if you have Caesars Sportsbook, they always have the best lines for trucks and Xfinity. They always give us top 3s and top 5s and, top Toyota, everything like that, groups, everything for those lower series. A lot of these books only give us a Cup Series for that stuff, but Caesars does a great job. DraftKings doesn't give us the groups, okay? As far as I know, yeah, they don't give us the groups and everything. They'll give head-to-heads and stuff. But now it looks like they're stepping up their game, at least the first 2 races now, giving us outrights, top 3s, and top 5s. So right now, until they start failing us, I'm going to start waiting until DraftKings gives us our top 3s and top 5s for trucks. Because there's a big discrepancy in Caesars and DraftKings. Usually Caesars, I'll say this now, I'm not harping on Caesars. Usually they have like some of the worst odds. Sometimes they'll place something for an outright that's just a way different than somewhere else, which you can get on. And usually I go to Caesars for like qualifying for Cup Series and stuff. But it seems like now DraftKings is trying to step up with these lower series. Wait for DraftKings. If you want to just jump on it real quick in Caesars, I recommend it. But right now, DraftKings seems to be giving us better odds for top 5s and top 3s. I just wanted to harp on that for just a little bit. We're also going to take Brett Holmes plus 650 on Caesars for a top 5. On DraftKings, he's plus 700 for a top 5. I like that. I'm going to smack that shit as well a little bit, add a little bit extra. And then we've got Spencer Boyd 50 to 1 for a top 3. There's not much of a difference for him on DraftKings. He is 55 to 1 rather than 50 to 1. That is a big difference. I might take a little extra on that. I might just hold where I'm at. But there it is. Okay. So trucks. Also, Caden Honeycutt, we're going to take him 9 to 1 for a top 5. He's in a 45 truck for Nice Motorsports this weekend. Johnny Sauter was in that at Daytona. He was leading a lot of laps, ended up getting caught in the back of the pack or in the middle of the pack, ended up getting caught in some shit. Caden Honeycutt on short tracks is going to be good this year, but I just want to be able to see the man get a top 5. I don't recommend him for the win. You can get him at 80 to 1 on Caesars if you'd like, but I really would just take the safe way and take him. I don't know what it is for top Chevy. That would be fucking awesome. But at the same time, 9 to 1 for a top 5, not bad. Just want to be able to get those bets in that you can make your money back if, for example, a Kyle Busch or a Corey Heim with such terrible odds end up winning the race. Hopefully one of these guys finish in the top 5, okay? I would also recommend that Caesars has Ben Rhodes at plus 170 for a top 5. I'd probably hammer the living fuck out of that. I feel like he's going to be out front. So let me just go through these real quick. Trucks, Christian Eckes, I got a plus 800. He's plus 850 on DraftKings right now. Ben Rhodes 12 to 1. That's the best line I've seen. Raja, you can find him 30 to 1. I've got him 28 to 1 on Caesars. Brett Holmes 66 to 1 on Bet Rivers. Spencer Boyd 250 to 1. And then Brett Holmes plus 650 for a top 5, plus 700 on DraftKings. Spencer Boyd plus 1,700 for a top 5, but you can find him plus 2,500 for a top 5 on DraftKings. Timmy Hill, top 5. I've got him at plus 18 to 1 for a top 5, and he is 30 to 1 on DraftKings. Go take that. Spencer Boyd, I've got him 50 to 1 for a top 3, little sprinkle for 55 to 1 on DraftKings. Okay. And a little Caden Honeycutt, and go hammer a Ben Rhodes plus 170 on Caesars for a top 5. I just wanted to add that in as my last little play because he's going to be out front. Let's drive in. Hey, how about instead of just diving in, how about we drive in? Who doesn't like a drive in? Okay. You like a drive through. What about a drive in? let's go diving right into the Xfinity bets, baby. Okay. We're going to start it off with our favorites, and then we're going to talk a little bit about a guy that's getting an opportunity in a nice car, half decent car, and it's good at super speedways. We're going to get to him in a second. Okay. Sam Mayer, 14-1. Where was that? Bet Rivers? Bet Rivers. Okay. Bet Rivers, Sam Mayer, 14-1. We didn't get a fair opportunity. Let me tell you right now, when I was watching the Xfinity race Monday night, and he gets caught up in the first accident, I go, you motherfucker. That was the biggest dumpster fire of a bet ever. Okay. It seems like maybe Junior Motorsports is going to do the exact same fucking thing they did last year and crash and get caught up in shit and fuck everything up. Now, Brandon Jones and Sammy Smith did a great job. Justin Allgaier, oh my God. Sam Mayer, I don't blame him. Like, it was not his fault. People were checking up and shit and came down and hit him. The issue is starting in the back of the pack. So Sam Mayer not really having the speed at Daytona in qualifying really hurt him, and it ended up being out early. So Sam Mayer, 14-1 Bet Rivers. He's going to be he's a great super speedway racer. So I'm going to take him 14-1. I feel like that's a solid line. And that's on Bet Rivers. Remember, right now on DraftKings and a bunch of other books. Let me just go back here. I know he's 10-1 on a lot of books. Okay. That do not take. Okay. See, DraftKings, he's bumped up to 14-1 now. Caesars and stuff, he's like 10-1. Do not take that line. Okay. One favorite I kind of want to mention is AJ Allmendinger. I do want to see a different line on him. He is plus 110 on DraftKings right now. I don't know about the other books. Go hunt it down and see if you can find a top 5 for AJ Allmendinger at a better line. But right now I'm just seeing plus 110. Maybe take that if you can find it. But plus 850 for AJ Allmendinger. He's good at super speedway, so he could very well compete and win for this. He didn't really compete last week at Daytona, but I just really wanted to mention him because of the stats I told you. At the last 5 races at Daytona in the Xfinity Series, it's 4 of the last 5. He finished in the top 5 last week. Not very good, but that's just an honorable mention. So we'll get back into it. Sam Mayer, 14-1. Sheldon Creed, you can find him on Caesars with a boost at 14-1. A lot of books have Sheldon Creed because he finished second last week and he ran well and played it smart and was very calm and cool and collective. He's 11-1, 10-1 on a lot of books, 12-1 I think on one. But Caesars, the boost, 14-1. I'm gonna hammer that right after this and get my bet in for that. We love Sheldon Creed around here. Sheldon Creed starting off the year right. I understand, guys. Another second place. But we don't give a fuck anymore. This is different. That's how you want to start. If you start off first and winning your first race, all the expectations are up here, Sheldon. Okay? Second's good. This is our week. If we got to turn Austin Hill, we've got to turn Austin Hill. Okay? Somebody, for the love of God, get him out of there. We're not even going to mention Austin Hill because his odds are fucking stupid. I mean, to be honest, it's plus 380 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. Maybe a little sprinkle on there to help yourself out because he's going to be good. It's his home track. He's from Georgia, Austin Hill. Could he do it again? Maybe. I don't truly believe a lot in the back-to-backs, but he's done it before, so woo. Anyways, Austin Hill, yeah, fuck that shit. So Sheldon Creed, 14-1 at Caesar Sportsbook with the boost. Okay? Now, Riley Herbst ran so well last week, and we talked about it Wednesday on the podcast about that bullshit-ass fucking restart that he got fucked on. He was going to win the race. It was between him and Ryan Sieg. I truly think. If they stayed green, there was nobody coming and battling those two. They had the best fucking cars out on that track. They were pushing each other, blocking each other, giving each other big runs. It was beautiful to see. I love the Xfinity Series and those cars, man. They are so beautiful. Okay? Riley Herbst is going to get another win soon. He very well could win next week at Las Vegas when I'm there. I'm very excited to see how that's played out. That's for next week. Okay, that's news. So Riley Herbst, 16-1 on Caesar Sportsbook. I like that's the best line you're gonna get. Like Riley Herbst on DraftKings is 11-1. I've seen mainly 11-1, 10-1, maybe I think 12-1, but 16-1 on Caesars is the best line you're gonna get, and I like that. I smacked that shit, just like that guy and the golf guy. I smacked that shit, dude. Now, Ryan Sieg, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if I can find a 50-1. He's 40-1 on a lot of books, so I'm just mentioning it to you right now, like on DraftKings, since I haven't pulled up. Where is he? Ryan Sieg is 35-1. Not taking it. But for some reason, I'm sitting here like I want to take Brandon Jones, but I shouldn't. So I'm not going to take Brandon Jones. I know Ryan Sieg is 40-1 somewhere. If anything, I'm going to take that last minute before our flight, before I get across the border tomorrow. And I probably end up just taking a Ryan Sieg, maybe a Ryan Sieg top 5. He's going to be up front. He's ran out front multiple times at Atlanta. We saw him at the Super Speedways last week. Ryan Sieg, 40-1. Not bad. You can take a sprinkle on it, right? The next guy, they're giving us the same odds as last week. 50-1, Parker Retzlaff. Guy finished third. Was it third? Yeah. Okay, Ryan Sieg crashed out. Give me 75-1 again. I understand he ran out front all day. Parker Retzlaff had issues spinning out whatever the fuck it was, and then drove back up through the field. Dodged all the chaos and finished third. And you're going to give me the same line? Sure. Now, top 5 isn't the exact same, I don't think. I think he's plus 600 or plus 650. It's about the same. But we'll get into that in a second. Parker Retzlaff, 50-1. I'm going to place the exact same bet as last week. And that's on DraftKings Sports. Now he's down to 40-1. He's down to 40-1 on there. I'm sure Betway, somewhere, you can find a Parker Retzlaff 50-1. Go hunt that shit down, dude. They know he's good. People are betting on him. That's why he's down to 40-1. I truly believe that he's going to do well. One guy I want to talk about before my last outright bet, Jordan Anderson. You guys are going to see that he ran out front a lot this past week at Daytona. Larry McReynolds is his father-in-law or whatever. Legendary crew chief for Dale Sr. and was it Ernie Irvin? Super Speedway legend. I don't think he's the top of the pit box this week. So don't take Jordan Anderson. He was like well over 100-1, I think, 200-1 or whatever last week. Now he's down on DraftKings. He's 45-1. Don't take it. I just want to say that. Now let's go to the man of the hour. Now, DraftKings has him at 130-1, but we found him at Caesars. And last time I checked, this man was still available 200-1 on Caesars Sportsbook. Jeffrey motherfucking Earnhardt. Oh, who is this, you may say? That's the nephew of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Pretty sure it's the nephew. There's just so many Earnhardts that it's hard to fucking keep everybody together and logged, you know? So we've got Jeffrey Earnhardt, 200-1 Caesar Sportsbook. Now, you may be wondering why the fuck him? The lineage of super speedway gods, the last name. The only time he's ever showed up on any track was super speedways. I'm not going to pull up the stats right now. It's too much work. But Jeffrey Earnhardt showed up on super speedways. Now, he was driving for the 44 car for a long time there. He really only shows up at tracks he can afford to get a sponsor to. And it's mainly super speedways. Now, has he had the what's under the hood been able to keep him up front? No, when I was at Daga, he had mechanical issues and I think he went off. He wasn't there at Daytona last week, but this week he's in the 26. Now, if you guys don't know the number 26, that's Sam Hunt Racing. Sam Hunt Racing showed speed at Daytona and super speedways and road courses. They almost won a road course, I think, Sam Hunt Racing last year. But Sage Karam was piloting and he's a terrible. I don't mind Sage Karam. I don't know him personally, but he's a pretty bad driver. But when he drives that fucking Toyota 26 for Sam Hunt Racing, top 5 in the summer Daytona race, And then he was riding up front a majority of the day, battling for the lead and all this shit in the top 5, in the top 10 a lot last week at Daytona. Personally, I think Jeffrey Earnhardt is way better at super speedway driving than Sage Karam. And for some reason, they're giving us 200-1. I understand I don't think he's ever won a race. He's very close. I think he finished second at Dega. Jeffrey Earnhardt, 200-1. Need I say more? It's a fun little sprinkle. I put $10 on it. Pays out $2,000. Right? Why not? People are saying you're just burning your money away. I don't give a fuck. We're having fun. It's 200-1. Jeffrey Earnhardt. It's for the name. And I shared that shit, and people were like, everybody was sprinkling on it. Just a little fun. Everybody was just sprinkling a little bit on it. So Caesars, I'm pretty sure he's still available at this moment of recording. Now let's go to our top 5 market. I mentioned Ryan Sieg. His odds are way lower. We're not going to take a Ryan Sieg top 5. I think he's like plus 450, plus 5, maybe plus 500. Maybe we just go back to the well. We do the same thing again. But Parker Retzlaff is about plus 600, plus 650, depending on where you look. Because I think Caesars, they have him at plus 600 roughly, depending on where you find him at. And I'm going to go back to the well with the Parker Retzlaff top 5 for sure, because he's going to be up there. Ryan Sieg, if I could find a good line, if Betway kind of gives us top 5 lines this week, which it did in last week for Xfinity, I want to see what they give us. Maybe a Bet Rivers will come out with something that is a little more attainable to be able to place a bet on Ryan Sieg. So Jeffrey Earnhardt, he's the next guy that all of a sudden it just drops off. Now, motherfucker, if you go to DraftKings, he's plus 1,600. He's 16-1. I got him 14-1 on Caesars. DraftKings has given us the beautiful odds today. Okay. He's 130-1 for the win on DraftKings, but he's 16-1 for the top 5. So go take that top 5. I might even sprinkle a top 3 to have some fun. I think he's going to be up there. I think he's going to be a player, and it's fun to just sprinkle on it. And I went even a little heavy on him. I put 0.2 of a unit on the top 5. I feel like that's a little heavy still for him. So we're taking that. We're going to take top 3 plus 3,500 as well. And we're just going to have fun with it and let it ride. We're all riding out here for Jeffrey Earnhardt. Okay? So that's Xfinity. We've got outrights. Sam Mayer 14-1. Sheldon Creed 14-1 on the boost on Caesar Sportsbook. Riley Herbst on Caesar 16-1. Riley Herbst. Parker Retzlaff 50-1 on DraftKings. Now it's dropped down, so go hunt. You'll find it somewhere. And Jeffrey Earnhardt 200-1 on Caesar Sportsbook. You can find that at that one book. Other books have him about 150-1. Jeffrey Earnhardt plus 1,600 for the top 5 on DraftKings. I got him 14-1, right? And then Parker Retzlaff, I got him. I think it's 6-1 on Caesars. And we'll think about the Ryan Sieg plays. If you follow me at _Eric_ on all my social media to see if I end up taking him last second. And we're going to take that Jeffrey Earnhardt top 5 and top 3. Okay? Now let's get into the cups. Let's start off with qualifying bets. Now, in a second, my girlfriend's going to come home. There could be some barking. There could be some chaos going on here in the podcast. But we keep powering through. Okay? Power through. So, first off, qualifying bets. Ford has, since they switched the configuration, Ford has mainly dominated and been up front. In the 1 year, for Penske, all 3 cars were 1, 2, 3. Okay? And I'm taking the guys that have the most value and the guys that qualify the best. Ross Chastain is also in this list. He usually tries, he qualifies in the top 10 here. So Joey Logano, I think you could have got him at plus 750 at one point. I think he's down to plus 650. I got him 7-1 on, these are all on Caesars other than Chase Briscoe. But there are some lines that are still available on Bet Rivers and Caesars. Some of them got bet the hell down. Okay. Logano 7-1 on Caesars. Now he's down, and I think you can get, if you want to take Ryan Blaney, I think on Bet Rivers he was 8-1 or 8.5-1. If you like that number better, I truly think Logano qualifies a lot better than Ryan Blaney. Definitely on super speedways. I think when it does come to qualifying, Logano's always just been a better qualifier than Ryan Blaney. Maybe I'm just bullshitting, but just from what I've seen over the last couple of years, it just seems other than last year. Logano, obviously the championship hangover. We take that for a grain of salt. But Logano has just, I feel like statistically, has just been better at qualifying at certain places. Definitely at these big super speedway tracks, he gets a fast lap. We cashed him last week. Let's go back to back again. Now, just remember, the Toyotas were dog shit at Daytona. They had like outside 20th place speed. So I don't expect them to come here with speed here again in qualifying. It's a super speedway. I don't think they're going to focus too much on it. Yeah, it would be nice to start out front. I just don't think they're going to do it. So none of these guys are Toyota. Kyle Busch, 14-1. I think you might be able to find him 15-1 on Bet Rivers, but I got him on Caesars. 14-1. He always just seems to be in the top 10 for qualifying a lot of the times. Not near the end of the year of last year, but usually on these super speedways, RCR brings fast cars. You see it in Xfinity. You see it in Cup. Austin Dillon was in the top 10 last week as well. And it just seems like Kyle Busch, RCR, that number 8 car, they bring speed. And it just seems like on a lot of tracks, he's in the final 10, and that's what you're looking for. Just try and get these guys in the final 10. As many of these guys, if you think usually qualify in the top 10, and just get them in there, and then there's an opportunity. The worst is betting on these crazy long shots, and you're just kind of tossing money away with the qualifying. You got to take a realistic guy. Some guys randomly bring speed. We're going to talk about a guy at the end here. But I really think that these guys are the main core guys that are going to be qualifying fast at super speedways this year. Another one is Austin Cindric. He's qualified very, very well here. Okay, I don't have the stats in front of me, but he's qualified fucking well at Atlanta. Okay, so 15-1. I think you can find him 15-1 many places. Or sorry, Bet Rivers and Caesars are the only 2 places, but that I've seen for qualifying bets. But Austin Cindric, I got him on Caesars. You can still find him over. He got bet down to I think 10-1 or something like that, maybe on Caesars. Last time I checked, okay, here come the dogs a barking. You can hear it right now. They're losing their minds. We're gonna move on because this fucking dog. Okay, first off, this one dog traumatized from literally nothing. I'll try and take this dog out to go to the washroom. He scurries away. Everybody else comes home, goes and takes his poo. To be honest, not really. He waits for his fucking dad to get home, and then he fucking poops. So just ignore the dogs barking in the background, and it'll be over soon. So Austin Cindric, 15-1. Oh my God. Quiet! He's quieting down just a wee bit. He's going to come back. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Austin Cindric, 15-1. All right. Never a bad bet at Atlanta. Definitely on super speedways. He qualified well last week at Daytona. You're just looking for him in the top 10 there, right? He can get there. Ross Chastain, 15-1. I think you could find him maybe better on Bet Rivers, but I got him at Caesars as well. He's qualified well here. I think he's qualified maybe on the front row. The first year they were here with the new configuration in 2022. He's the one Chevy that I've got on. Now, I think Chase Elliott's going to be in the top 10. I think Alex Bowman's going to qualify well. Obviously, Kyle Larson and William Byron. Those Hendrick guys are going to qualify well. Shut the fuck up. Good God. He's going to lose his mind again. Those Hendrick guys are going to be up there and they're going to be battling, but I truly think the Ford's got speed. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Chase Briscoe was 12-1 on Caesar Sportsbook. Bet Rivers late last night opened up their lines for qualifying, and I got him 22-1. He's qualified on the pole here. I think it was in 2022. He qualified first at Daytona in summer race last year. He can get it done. SHR. They were faster than the Toyotas. They were faster than most Chevys. I think he can get it done. Chase Briscoe, 22-1. I like the guy. SHR. We talk about blue collar. We're looking for him. Noah Gragson is the final one. He's a bit of a long shot, but that 10 car is qualified very, very well. I think qualified first overall with Eric Almirola. They bring fast speed in that number 10 car to super speedways. He qualified just outside the top 10 when they were doing qualifying last Wednesday at Daytona. And I think if he gets in the top 10, he's got a shot. So he opened up at 60-1. I got him at 50. Last time I checked, he was 40-1. So I would take him 40-1 as well. Take a wee sprinkle. I put only like $10 on it and have a little fun. Pays out $500, and it's just fun. we're all rooting for Noah Gregson. I can't wait to see what they've got for merch there. Hopefully they've got all their 2024 season merch for NASCAR, because I can't wait to get some Bass Pro Shop shit from him. Okay, so now let's dive in the last little bit. This is going to be very quick. We don't have much action so far on the Cup Series, okay? We'll add some stuff. We're going to talk about a couple of the guys I got, and then a guy that was a crazy odds and all this shit. So we're going to start off with my favorite of all favorites is Chase Elliott, 14-1, Georgia boy. He's won here before. I think he was the first Georgia boy to win in Atlanta since his father, Bill Elliott. And it's just in the cards. He ran very well, snuck through the one big crash at Daytona last week. He was there at the end. And I think that he can get it done here. 14-1 on Betway. It's a beautiful line. A lot of other books have him. 12-1. I like 14-1. And we sprinkled on it. I feel this one in my plums. You ever seen that Will Ferrell clip? I feel it in my plums. Juice spilling down. I feel it in my plums. Okay. Chase Elliott's my first time to Georgia. Not technically, I drove through like a little corner to get to Talladega. First time just outside of Atlanta, being in Atlanta, going to Georgia, spending days in Georgia. I'm out missing out on the Georgia boy, getting his first win in over a year, and bringing it to the home crowd and everybody losing their minds. And also Chase Elliott fan. So 14-1, we like that shit. We're going to go to the next guy, Bubba Wallace, 22-1. Got a top 5 last week. You already know I'm biased. 22-1 is the best line. Got him on Bet Rivers. I think he's still available at 22-1. He's a great super speedway driver. I don't need to keep saying it. I talked about it last week. They haven't came up with the paint scheme. Oh no, it's like a lime green, lime blue kind of ish thing. Moneyline car. I like it. Let's do it up. 22-1. Bubba Wallace. This guy Corey LaJoie. This is his best track. Super speedway guy. He got. Did he get the top 5 finish? Yeah, he got the top 5 finish, even though crashing out Austin Cindric and Ross Chastain at the end there. 45-1. I think you can find him 50-1 on Betway. I'm sure you can find him 50-1 somewhere. Corey LaJoie, this is his best statistical track. Super speedways have been the place he shines. We're going to take him top 5. I'm going to take him top 10. I think on I can't remember where. God damn it. I can't remember where, but he's available like plus 210 or something like that for a top 10. It might be Caesar Sportsbook. We're going to take him top 10 and top 5 as well. I think he's going to be there. He didn't make any friends really at the end of that race. So if Austin Cindric's there at the end, he's going to be turning Corey LaJoie, and Austin Cindric's going to be going for the win. That's another guy I want to kind of mention. He's got a crazy long odd. A lot of places Austin Cindric is like 20-1, 22-1. And I think one book has him at 28-1. I think it might be Bet Rivers or something like that. Maybe even Caesars. But they've got him at 20. Austin Cindric at 28-1. He's going to qualify well. I think he's going to be up front. He fucking was doing very well at Daytona last week. Look for some redemption on Cindric's name as well. But Corey LaJoie, statistically very, 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 very good at super speedways. And he's got his best finish 3rd here at Atlanta. Or 2nd. I think it was 2nd. And we're all rooting for him then. And we're just going to keep going with Corey LaJoie and super speedways till that shit hits. I want to see it so bad. I want to see it live. It'll be absolute chaos and calamity if that man fucking wins his first ever Cup Series race, and I want to have money on it. Last outright that I have so far, we talked about Cindric there. I'm probably going to take Ross because he ran very well. He qualifies well at this track. Was running very well last week. He's very aggressive at the end of these races. So I think you can find Ross at 20-1 on many books. So go look for that. But the main guy, God damn it. I talked about it. Hendrick Motorsports crashing out Brad Keselowski last week. We're going to keep going on super speedways till he gets it. He's going to run out front. He fucking finished 2nd here in the spring race last year. Okay. He was running very well. What happened in the summer race? I think he either got caught up in something or he ended up finishing, I think, in the top 10. He's very close. Top 5. This is statistically one of his best tracks as well. He's going to be well. He's going to do good. He might even qualify up front. I don't think he's going to qualify first, but he could very well qualify in the top 10. With one guy we haven't even talked about is Chris Buescher. Brad needs the win. We're going with the better guy here. Brad Keselowski now. he opened up on Caesar Sportsbook. He ran very well last week at Daytona. I cannot believe this line. We got him at 14-1 last week. A lot of books have him at 11, 10, 12-1, whatever. Caesars opened him at 15-1. Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving. At some point, maybe this line for Brad is going to be 20-1. At some point in the next year or two, if he doesn't get a win. And I'll keep taking it till it fucking hits, and we're going to win all our money back anyways. So 15-1, that shit got, I tweeted that out. Within 5 minutes, he was bet down to 10-1. So follow me on my Action Network. Link in the bio of my X and my Instagram. At @FurlongEric_ on all my social media. Listen to the Hot Pass Podcast Friday morning betting show. And that's where you're going to cash fucking bags. Okay, one last one. It almost sounded like I was walking off of this. But not yet. Josh Williams, plus 700 for a top 10. Insane. He's like back there with like a fucking BJ McLeod kind of lines. And we had that at DraftKings. I think you can find him plus 700 somewhere still. A lot of them, they dropped him down to plus 350. Hunt around. Bet Rivers, Caesars, Bet MGM, Bet Rivers, fucking DraftKings, fucking everywhere. Just hunt every book you got and try and find plus 700 for Josh Williams top 10. Because if that hits, holy shit, you're having a good day. You won all your money back. He's going to ride around back, I think, a lot of the time. And then he's going to come up. AJ Allmendinger scored that top 6 or top 10 last week in the same car. Josh Williams really getting his first shot in the Cup Series here as just a fill-in for the 16 of Colleague Racing. He's a mainstay now in the Xfinity Series for Colleague. Look for him to just kind of ride around, get through all the chaos, and maybe get a top 10. It's just a long shot. So, as I said it before, listen to all my Friday morning betting show, Monday morning Hot Pass podcast show, and soon we're gonna have some guests. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to Atlanta this weekend, and then we're going to Vegas the week after that with my lady. So we're gonna be kind of all over with the schedule, but we're gonna try and stay up to date with everything. Vegas, I'll probably try and bring my laptop down with me so I can record some stuff for the podcast. But if not, everything will be delayed. If you follow me on my social media, you'll get updates for everything. So at @FurlongEric_ for everything. And that's been the Hot Pass Podcast Friday morning betting show. Okay, let's cash a bag. Keep up to date on my Action Network for the Cup Series and all my social media for any last second bets. And that's been a show. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you guys later. See you.